it's the Fujo Fairy here doing my first ever manga review. This is gonna be a two-parter for the manga Gravitation. So this video is gonna just include volumes 1 through 6, like the first half of Gravitation, and then I'm gonna do another video including 7 through 12, so the second half, just to make it easier on myself. And yeah, so before I start the video though, I just want to preface that this is just my opinion. My opinion isn't law. Everyone has different opinions, so just take everything I say with a grain of salt. You know, I might not like it, you might like it more. There's certain aspects that I don't like that you might like. It's just, it is the way it is. Everyone has different opinions and different thought processes, so just know that it's just my opinion. And yeah, so if you want to continue watching and hearing my thoughts on the first half of Gravitation, please continue watching. Alright, thank you. So if you don't know what Gravitation is, it is a BL manga, Shonen Ai, that came out back in like the late 90s or something like that, pretty early on here in the United States. It was a really big hit. Most people who were into BL at the time knew of Gravitation. It was actually one of the first animes that BL animes that I've ever seen. It's really what got me into BL. This and Papa to Kiss in the Dark is another one. Yes, that one, yes, it is a very controversial one. But back in the day, over 10 years ago, I actually liked it. And so, yeah. But yes, so before there was Given, there was Gravitation. So this one is kind of similar in the music aspect of the two, but this is definitely different than a lot different than Given. So yeah, I'm really not good with explaining things, so I'm just gonna read the description of the first volume and just go into my thoughts about the characters and the story and how I feel about everything. So let's get started. Gravitation. Shuichi Shindo is determined to be a rock star. He has no experience, no talent, and no band. After finding a charismatic guitarist and getting a gig, he's ready to show the world what a genius he is with his powerful lyrics. However, Eri Yuki overhears his amateurish verses and puts the young musician in his place. Unable to get the harsh criticisms out of his mind, Shuichi forces himself into Yuki's life, and the two find their futures intertwined. The force that brings them together is like gravity, and there is nothing they can do to stop it. So that's pretty much the basic description of the story. It tells the story of Shuichi and Yuki and how they fell in love. Those are the two main characters. This is Shuichi, and then this guy over here is Yuki. Their personalities. Shuichi is pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. He's definitely my least favorite character in this, which just says a lot. He's really annoying. He is your typical uke, very energetic, just says whatever. He really is too, in my opinion, he's a little too obsessed with Yuki. He cares too much about what Yuki has to say. His whole emotions, all his emotions are dependent on how Yuki treats him, which is a problem, I think, especially when you get deeper into the story and Shuichi and his bandmate Hiro start to become bigger. Their music becomes bigger and they become going on TV, and their music, they drop albums and all this stuff, and every time Yuki treats Shuichi bad or something happens, he just like can't play music. He goes overly dramatic about everything. I mean, I get it, it's supposed to be a love story, but sometimes it's a little unrealistic, and it really bothers me the way he acts. And then there's, so moving on to the second main character, if you can see, I don't know what, the sun, Yuki. He is your typical seme. He's very, he's kind of an asshole, I'm not gonna lie, but he has a traumatic past that is alluded to throughout the story as to why he is the way that he is. He pushes Shuichi away a lot of the times, but, Shuichi always comes back for more. Yuki is a novelist, like a famous romance novel. All the girls love him. He's a womanizer. He has multiple female partners, but Shuichi doesn't care. He still loves him, and he still tries to follow him everywhere, literally everywhere. He goes and shows up to his house all the time, and yeah, that's kind of like their dynamic. Shuichi tries to get Yuki to love him the way he loves him, and Yuki, due to his traumatic past, is very close off and says, no, I don't want to. But as the story progresses and Yuki realizes that he's starting to develop feelings for Shuichi, he starts to slowly open up. He's still very much an asshole, but in the later volumes, especially in this one, in volume 5 and 6, we see that Yuki is starting to open up. He starts to ask Yuki what he wants to eat. He tells him, oh, if you do this, maybe we can go on a date. Like, stuff that he wouldn't have said before. But yeah. And then another character that's also in the story is Hiro, which is this guy. He's Shuichi's bandmate. They've known each other for a while. They've been friends. He was the guitarist. Their band's name is called Bad Luck, by the way. We don't actually know their band name until like volume 2, I feel like. They didn't say it. But their band name is Bad Luck. Hiro is like supposed to be this really smart guy. And he's Shuichi's like rock, honestly. Like, he really brings Shuichi back from craziness, in my opinion. He definitely helps Shuichi a lot. So far, he hasn't had like a huge role in the story in the between volumes 1 and 6. He's great. He's honestly a really good character. I really like him. He's very cute, too. I like his long hair. He's really cool. And, yeah. But, yeah, those are the 3 main characters. Like I said, there are other characters, but I really want to keep this, this review spoiler-free, so I don't want to go into any more details about it. I just want to also give my opinion on the overall first half of the story. I definitely would give this a good, solid 6 out of 10. It was really good, but there were still some parts that were kind of boring and didn't really need to be part of the story. So certain parts I kind of almost skimmed because it was just so boring, but then there were other parts that were really interesting. So I had to give it a 6 out of 10. I could have given higher if Yuki wasn't so much. Like, he really does the most throughout this story, and Shuichi really does the most throughout this whole story. Like, I don't know, it just annoys me. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts. Like I said, I give this a good 6 out of 10. I highly recommend this for people who are starting their journey in the BL universe. Since this is such a classic, I feel like everyone who calls themselves a fujoshi should read this, especially like here in the US. Like, I feel like Gravitation really brought BL here into the United States, or into the West, not just the United States, but into the West. And it's such a great story to be told. So yes, I do want to preface that there is some trigger warnings throughout the story. Since this is a shonen ai, they don't really show anything explicit, but things are mentioned and alluded to, like, with just some small imagery. So if stuff like sexual abuse or verbal abuse or any of that kind of stuff bothers you, I would skip over those parts maybe. I don't know, since it is like kind of a big part of the story, so maybe not, I don't know. But yes. And the comedy in this it's pretty okay. I do have to say that, like, since this is like an older series, the comedy is definitely older. You can kind of tell, like, one of the lines is like, oh, I'm gonna blow this popsicle stand, like, like, who says that anymore? So that really had me dying. I don't know if he was serious or if it was a joke, but I did find it funny. And yeah, also something that really bothers me, and it probably just bothers me since I I work with kids who have special needs, and they kind of use the R word a couple of times throughout this story, and that really does bother me. But it could just be because this is an older series, and like back then, you know, people weren't as educated on the word and not to use that word, because it's really, I just don't like when people use that word. It's just a me problem. It probably doesn't bother everyone, so that part really kind of bothered me a little bit. But like I said, older series, what do you expect? And that is the end of my review of Gravitation Part 1. I know I'm kind of like all over the place. Since this is kind of my first review, I was, I don't know, a little nervous, and it's definitely not the best, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll get better the more I do these. But yeah, this is the first part, volumes 1. I'll just show the covers for these. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. I really like this one. This actually might be my favorite one. And then the omnibus for Volume 5 and 6, if you can see it. This one's kind of like a little sexy, not gonna lie. I honestly don't know who this is. I really don't know who that is. The art, I do have to say before I finish this, the art is really good. It definitely gets better. The beginning is a little rough, and the way this mangaka, what's her name? Maki, I can't believe I went this whole review without saying her name, oh my god. Her name is Maki Murakami. She really, the way she puts her like panels a little bit, especially the beginning part, is kind of all over the place. I'll like use like an example. Like, it's all over the place and kind of gets a little confusing, but in the later volumes, especially volume 4, she gets better, and she makes, like, she gives more space between the bubbles and stuff, because sometimes, like, I don't know which bubble to read and I get confused myself. So now I'm officially done with my review. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you like this video. Please like or subscribe. Yes, it's all over the place. Yes, it's chaotic, but that is me in a nutshell. So thank you guys. Hopefully I'll finish the next part, and it should be out maybe 2 weeks or something. I do want to do a review on Fruits Basket, so I'll probably do that one next, and I'll probably do the same thing, like the first half, because it's 12 omnibuses, so I'll do the first 6 volumes that I own, and then do a review on it. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Bye.